15 Intriguing Facts About Charlie Chaplin. Welcome to Life Theory, dear viewers, where today we're stepping into the world of one of cinema's greatest icons, the incomparable Charlie Chaplin. A man of many talents and a pioneer in filmmaking, Chaplin's story is as captivating as it is inspirational. From his humble beginnings to his ascent to global stardom, each facet of his life is a testament to his indomitable spirit and unyielding passion for his craft. In this enriching journey, we will explore the birth of his timeless character, the Tramp, learn about Chaplin's influence on silent movies, his mastery of film music, and his innovative approach to comedy. As we delve deeper, we'll uncover the intricate details of Chaplin's work ethics, the controversies and scandals that marked his life, and the complexities of his personal relationships. We'll visit his years in exile, explore his autobiographical films that reflect the man behind the camera, and appreciate his humanitarian beliefs that transcended his film career. Finally, we'll celebrate his late-life recognition, honor his pioneering contributions to cinema, and take a nostalgic trip through his unforgettable masterpieces. Get ready for an exciting journey that goes beyond the silver screen and into the heart of an extraordinary individual who changed the face of cinema forever. Number 1. Charlie Chaplin, rising from poverty to stardom. Welcome to a fascinating exploration into the life of one of the greatest comic actors ever to grace the silver screen. We begin with an incredible rags-to-riches tale as we delve into the story of a man who rose from humble beginnings to worldwide stardom. This is the story of Charlie Chaplin. Charles Spencer Chaplin was born in London in 1889 into a family of music hall performers. But life for young Chaplin was far from glamorous. His father was absent, and his mother struggled to make ends meet. Despite these humble and challenging beginnings, Chaplin was blessed with a flair for performance, a legacy of his parents' profession. As a child, he was thrown into the harsh world of workhouses and pauper schools. Yet, his spirit remained unbroken. He used these challenges to fuel his ambition, honing his skills as a performer from a very young age. From the streets of South London, Chaplin ventured into the world of professional theater. By the age of 19, he had become a popular performer with the Fred Carno Company and got an opportunity to tour America. This was a turning point. While performing in New York, Chaplin was spotted by a film producer and was offered a contract in Hollywood. And the rest, as they say, is history. Chaplin quickly became a worldwide icon through his character, the Little Tramp. Despite not having a formal education or film training, he transformed the film industry forever. His blend of physical comedy and emotional depth was unique and drew people to the cinema in droves. His films became a delightful escape for people from the grim realities of the world, be it the Great Depression or the World Wars. So, as we proceed with our journey today, remember this. Charlie Chaplin's rise to stardom wasn't just about talent. It was also about resilience, determination, and an unyielding spirit. A true testament to the fact that no matter where you come from, it's where you're going that counts. 2. The Tramp, creating a timeless character. Imagine an iconic figure wearing baggy pants, oversized shoes, a bowler hat, and carrying a bamboo cane. A tiny mustache adorns his face, and despite the hardship evident in his eyes, a smile plays on his lips. You're picturing the Tramp, the unforgettable character that defined Charlie Chaplin's career. The conception of the Tramp was seemingly accidental. Chaplin was filming at Mack Sennett's Keystone Studios when he was asked to create a new, more captivating character. What Chaplin did next was revolutionary. He dove into the prop room, donning an eclectic mix of oversized and undersized clothing, and the Tramp was born. But the genius lay not just in the character's look, but also in the character's spirit. The Tramp was a silent character who spoke volumes. Chaplin used him as a vehicle to portray the common man's struggles and aspirations during the early 20th century. The character was a paradox, a blend of comedy and pathos, a romantic and a dreamer, but always an underdog. Despite the comedic persona, the Tramp was a mirror to society, a reflection of the loneliness and hardship of the masses, making him universally relatable. While Chaplin's physical comedy as the Tramp had audiences in fits of laughter, his ability to portray emotion without words touched their hearts. The themes of his films were rooted in social issues like poverty, inequality, and injustice. Yet, Chaplin's The Tramp faced all of life's adversities with optimism, resilience, and humor. This was the true beauty of Chaplin's creation. Through The Tramp, Chaplin brought laughter to millions, making them momentarily forget their worries. But he also sparked introspection, subtly nudging audiences to reflect upon the society they were part of. The Tramp was, and still is, a timeless character, a testament to Chaplin's brilliance as a filmmaker, a storyteller, and an empathetic observer of the human condition. Number 3. Silent movie's greatest star, Chaplin's incredible impact on early cinema. The era of silent film had its own unique language, and Charlie Chaplin was one of its most eloquent speakers. At a time when words couldn't be heard, he used expressions, gestures, and body language to tell stories that have resonated with audiences for more than a century. Chaplin wasn't merely a part of the silent film era, he was instrumental in defining it. Despite not uttering a single word, Chaplin's films spoke volumes. His pantomime skills were unparalleled. Each tilt of his head, each raise of his eyebrows, and each slapstick tumble was crafted to perfection, communicating emotions and narratives more effectively than many of the spoken dialogues of the era. Through his work, Chaplin showed that comedy wasn't merely about making people laugh. It was a medium to comment on society, to humanize characters, and to tell stories that mattered. The themes of his films were universal. He dealt with issues such as poverty, oppression, and injustice, bringing them into the limelight through his trademark blend of comedy and pathos. His influence went beyond the confines of silent cinema. His innovative filmmaking techniques and his understanding of storytelling and timing set new standards in the industry. He wasn't just acting in front of the camera, he was also writing, directing, and later even composing the music for his films. He was a complete filmmaker, constantly pushing the boundaries of what cinema could achieve. Charlie Chaplin didn't just adapt to the constraints of silent cinema, he embraced them, turning what could have been limitations into opportunities for creativity and expression. He proved that the essence of cinema wasn't just about spoken words, but visual storytelling. His impact on early cinema was profound and lasting, his works are timeless, and his legacy immeasurable. Through his silent films, Chaplin whispered into the ears of millions, teaching them to find joy in simplicity, to laugh despite hardships, and to never lose their human touch in the face of adversity. He made the world fall in love with silent cinema and set the stage for the future of filmmaking. Chaplin was, indeed, the greatest star of silent movies. Number 4. Chaplin and music, the man behind the melodies. In the world of entertainment, Charlie Chaplin is remembered as an iconic actor and filmmaker. Still, his talents reached far beyond the camera lens, extending to the realm of music, where his contributions often go unnoticed. Yet, those familiar with Chaplin's films know that his melodies play as significant a role as the visual elements, creating a harmonious fusion of sight and sound. When we talk about Chaplin as a musician, we aren't referring to someone who merely enjoyed music. He was a composer in his own right. He was the creative mind behind the scores of many of his films, and his understanding of music's emotional power was something he utilized to its fullest extent. In the realm of silent films, music was one of the primary tools used to communicate feelings and mood. Although Chaplin started his career in silent films, he understood the significance of music and its potential to enhance the narrative of a film. When sound became a part of cinema, Chaplin embraced the opportunity and began composing his film scores, giving birth to timeless melodies like Smile from modern times. Despite lacking formal musical education, Chaplin had an inherent understanding of rhythm and melody. He composed his film scores by humming or playing melodies on a violin or a keyboard, which professional musicians would then transcribe. He had an intuitive knack for understanding which melodies would work best with specific scenes, creating an emotional resonance that amplified the impact of his visual storytelling. When you watch a Chaplin film, the music isn't just a background score, it's an integral part of the narrative, almost a character in itself. It tells a story, conveys emotions, sets the atmosphere, and takes the audience on a journey parallel to the on-screen action. It's the silent partner, working seamlessly alongside the visual elements to create a holistic cinematic experience. Chaplin once said, "I try to compose elegant and romantic music to frame my comedies in contrast to the tramp character, for elegant music gives my comedies an emotional dimension." Through his music, Chaplin managed to create an intimate bond between the audience and his characters, revealing the subtle layers of emotions beneath the surface-level comedy. Thus, in Chaplin's films, the man behind the melodies was as crucial as the man in front of the camera. Number 5. The king of comedy, Chaplin's influence on humor in film. Unquestionably, the name Charlie Chaplin brings to mind images of a man waddling about in baggy trousers, with a toothbrush mustache and a bowler hat, orchestrating an elegant ballet of slapstick comedy. But beyond these memorable antics, Chaplin's influence on humor in film extends deep into the fabric of the art form. establishing a legacy that remains profoundly impactful to this day. Before Chaplin, comedy in film was primarily a sequence of gags, a slapstick routine without much depth. Chaplin, however, brought a new dimension to humor. He fused comedy and pathos, creating a unique blend where laughter coexisted with tears and joy was intertwined with sorrow. His comedy was a mirror held up to society, reflecting not just the superficially humorous but also the poignant and even the tragic aspects of life. His character, the tramp, while a source of ceaseless amusement, was also a social underdog, constantly struggling against the harsh realities of life. Chaplin's comedy was a critique of societal inequalities and the absurdity of certain societal norms. He presented humor as a tool for the powerless to take on the powerful, giving his comedy a distinct social and political edge. His film, Modern Times, for example, is a humorous critique of industrialization, where Chaplin, through his comedic lens, highlights the dehumanizing effects of the factory system. Moreover, Chaplin's mastery over his body and his ability to express a wide range of emotions through physical humor was unprecedented. His comedy wasn't just about falling over or getting into funny situations. It was about how he reacted to those situations, how he conveyed emotions through his movements, making the audience laugh, cry, and most importantly, empathize with his characters. Finally, the universality of Chaplin's comedy allowed it to transcend cultural and language barriers. His films didn't need dialogues to convey humor. The comedy was in his actions, in the situations, in the humanity of his characters. This universal appeal of his comedy has made Chaplin's work timeless and continues to inspire generations of comedians and filmmakers. Chaplin once said, "Life is a tragedy when seen in close-up, but a comedy in long shot." His ability to portray life through this dual lens, to extract humor from the mundane, the painful, the unjust, has made him the king of comedy, a position unchallenged even today, decades after his time. Number 6. Chaplin's passion for perfection, a stickler for detail. When it comes to defining artistic excellence and precision, Charlie Chaplin stands as an enduring epitome of meticulousness. His passion for perfection, coupled with his unwavering dedication, resulted in him being hailed as a stickler for detail, a characteristic that further underlined his genius. Chaplin wasn't simply an actor, he was also a director, producer, and music composer. He wore multiple hats, controlling every aspect of his films from scriptwriting to post-production, ensuring that his vision was flawlessly executed. In the world of film, he was a rare auteur. He believed that to deliver a performance that resonated with his audience, every minute detail mattered. His attention to detail was legendary, be it the elaborate set designs, the perfect comedic timing, or the carefully choreographed slapstick routines. Everything had to be impeccable. It was not uncommon for Chaplin to shoot multiple takes of a single scene to capture the perfect emotion, the perfect action. Stories about him spending days perfecting a single gag, or shooting a scene over 300 times, as he did with a scene in City Lights, just to get the timing absolutely right. Even though his rigorous attention to detail often exhausted his co-workers, it was this very dedication that often elevated his films from the realm of the ordinary to the extraordinary. This is evident in the precision of his physical comedy, the emotional depth of his characters, and the seamless blend of comedy and tragedy in his films. But Chaplin's perfectionism wasn't confined to just his filmmaking process. Even his iconic appearance, the baggy trousers, the tight coat, the small hat, and the cane, were all meticulously chosen. Each element was designed to evoke a specific emotion, to tell a story. His costume was as much a part of the narrative as the plot itself. Chaplin's commitment to perfection, his attention to detail, has left an indelible mark on the world of cinema. It underscores the importance of fine nuances in filmmaking, teaching us that it's the subtlest details that often have the greatest impact. His approach to his art, akin to a master sculptor delicately chiseling a masterpiece, is a testament to the magic that unfurls when passion is infused with precision. Number 7. Controversies and scandals, the lesser-known side of Chaplin. While the world was enamored with Charlie Chaplin's unmatched comedic genius, his personal life was far from the laughter and cheer that filled his on-screen performances. His life was punctuated with controversies and scandals that threatened to eclipse his immense talent and his contributions to cinema. Starting his career in the UK before moving to Hollywood, Chaplin quickly rose to fame. But with fame came scrutiny, and his personal life was thrown under the spotlight. His relationships, particularly with younger women, became a source of major contention. Chaplin was married 4 times, and 3 of his wives were teenagers at the time of their wedding. This, coupled with two high-profile paternity suits, one of which involved a trial that was dubbed the trial of the century, led to a significant backlash. Chaplin's political beliefs also landed him in hot water. His satirical film, The Great Dictator, while lauded today as a daring and poignant critique of Hitler, was met with controversy at the time for its political undertones. Post-World War II, during the Red Scare, his perceived sympathies towards communism led to him being targeted by the FBI. His re-entry permit to the U.S. was revoked while he was on a trip abroad, turning him into a man without a country. Yet, in the midst of these scandals, Chaplin never lost sight of his artistic vision. His controversies might have caused a media frenzy, but they didn't diminish his impact on the world of cinema. If anything, they added layers of complexity to the man behind the tramp, making his story one of resilience and unyielding commitment to his craft. From a rags-to-riches childhood to his scandal-filled adulthood, Chaplin's life was as multifaceted and layered as the characters he portrayed on screen. And while his controversies continue to generate debate, they remain a testament to a man who, despite the tumultuous events of his personal life, never failed to bring a smile to the faces of his audience. Number 8. Love affairs and marriages, Chaplin's complex personal life. Charlie Chaplin was as known for his complex personal life as he was for his iconic silent films. His love affairs and marriages created as many headlines as his masterpieces did, painting a portrait of a man as complicated as he was talented. As we delve into his romantic life, we find a tapestry woven with tales of passion, scandal, and heartbreak. A great lover, Chaplin was married 4 times throughout his life, with each union bringing its own story. His first marriage was to 16-year-old Mildred Harris in 1918. Though it was brief and marked by the tragic death of their infant son, it served as a poignant introduction to Chaplin's complex romantic life. His second marriage, to Leda Gray in 1924, was even more controversial. The pair met when Gray was just 6 years old, and they would later marry when she was 16 and pregnant with Chaplin's child. This union, like his first, was marred by public scandal and ultimately ended in a bitter and high-profile divorce. His third marriage to Paulette Goddard in 1936 was perhaps his most stable, lasting for 7 years. It was during this time that Chaplin was at the height of his career, releasing some of his most famous films, including Modern Times and The Great Dictator. Finally, his fourth and last marriage to Una O'Neill, the daughter of playwright Eugene O'Neill, lasted until his death. Despite the vast age difference, Chaplin was 54 and Una was 18 when they wed. They enjoyed a long and happy marriage, raising 8 children together. In many ways, Chaplin's personal life was a stark contrast to the joy and laughter he brought to the world through his art. His romantic entanglements were filled with complexity and controversy, yet they added a level of human depth to the man behind the legend. Even in his personal life, Charlie Chaplin was never one-dimensional, reminding us that behind every great artist, there's an equally intriguing story waiting to be told. Number 9. Chaplin's exile, Hollywood's lost star. In the annals of Hollywood, few stories are as heartrending as that of Charlie Chaplin's exile. Indeed, for a man who brought such joy and laughter to the world, the tale of his departure from the very place that shot him to stardom is steeped in a deep sense of melancholy. Chaplin's position in the United States began to deteriorate during the 1940s, a time when the country was consumed by anti-communist sentiment. Being an outspoken critic of war and a champion of the working class, he found himself a target of the House Un-American Activities Committee. Accusations flew, painting him as a communist sympathizer and a moral corrupter. The climax came in 1952 when Chaplin, sailing to London for the premiere of his movie Limelight, learned that his re-entry permit to the U.S. had been revoked. He was essentially exiled, cut off from the Hollywood he had helped build. The very soil of the country where he had crafted his legacy was suddenly forbidden to him. In response, Chaplin made the heart-wrenching decision not to return, stating, "I would not go back there even if Jesus Christ was the president." He moved to Switzerland, where he would live for the rest of his life. The exile was a profound blow to Chaplin. Hollywood had been his creative playground where he had produced his greatest works. But it was also the place that had rejected him, casting him aside in response to political pressures. However, as with any great story, Chaplin's had a redemptive arc in 1972, 20 years after his exile. He was invited back to the U.S. to receive an honorary Oscar for his outstanding contribution to cinema. His return was met with a 12-minute standing ovation, a testament to his enduring legacy and the love his audience still held for him. In the face of adversity, Chaplin's spirit remained unbroken. His exile from Hollywood, while heartbreaking, was a testament to his resilience and an important chapter in the narrative of one of cinema's greatest stars. Number 10. A Life in Pictures, Chaplin's autobiographical films. Charlie Chaplin's contribution to cinema extends far beyond his comedic prowess and his iconic character, the Tramp. Not only did he revolutionize comedy in the silent film genre, he also dared to turn the lens inward, creating a series of poignant, deeply personal autobiographical films. From the very start, Chaplin's life was marked by hardship. Born into poverty in London, he was sent to a workhouse at 7 years old when his mother could no longer support him. He later entered the entertainment industry through vaudeville, eventually making his way to the United States and rising to prominence in Hollywood. These formative experiences found their way onto the screen in movies such as The Kid, The Circus, and Limelight. The Kid, considered one of his most personal and autobiographical films, mirrors Chaplin's own early struggles. The film follows the tramp as he finds an abandoned baby and raises the child amidst the harsh realities of a cruel world. Here, Chaplin confronts themes of poverty and hardship, drawing on his own experiences as a child. Similarly, Limelight, which tells the story of a washed-up stage actor and a young dancer, reflects Chaplin's experiences in vaudeville and his fears of fading popularity. It was also eerily prescient, released around the same time as Chaplin's controversial exile from the United States. In these films and others, Chaplin infused his own life into the narrative, creating a rich, deeply human story that resonated with audiences. His ability to transform his personal experiences into universally relatable narratives is part of what made him such a pioneering force in the world of cinema. Through these autobiographical films, we are given a glimpse into the heart and mind of Chaplin, beyond his on-screen persona. They serve as poignant reminders that behind the laughter and the comedy was a man who knew life's hardships all too well, but who chose to face them with humor, resilience, and a boundless spirit of optimism. Number 11. Chaplin's humanitarian beliefs, beyond the silver screen. Charlie Chaplin, widely known for his comedic genius and iconic silent film performances, had a dimension of his life that reached far beyond the realm of entertainment. Off the silver screen, Chaplin was a passionate advocate for social justice and used his platform to convey strong humanitarian beliefs. Chaplin's deep empathy for the underprivileged was grounded in his own experience of poverty in his early life. He was born into destitution in London, and his childhood was marked by struggle and hardship. This personal experience fueled Chaplin's compassion for the less fortunate and deeply influenced his films and his activism. Chaplin's films often portrayed the struggles of the common man during a time of economic hardship and social inequality. His most enduring character, the Tramp, is a sympathetic figure navigating an unforgiving world, embodying the experiences of the working class. But his social commentary wasn't confined to the screen. Chaplin also expressed his beliefs through public speeches and advocacy. He was particularly outspoken during the era of the Great Depression, leveraging his fame to raise awareness about the plight of the unemployed and the vast economic disparities that marked the era. He was also an active advocate for world peace, speaking out against fascism and war during a time when such positions were not always popular. One of the most significant embodiments of his humanitarian beliefs came in the form of his film, The Great Dictator. Despite being a risky project during the fraught climate of World War II, Chaplin didn't shy away from satirizing Hitler and fascism, reinforcing his commitment to peace and democracy. Chaplin's humanitarian beliefs ultimately cost him during the McCarthy era when his left-leaning political beliefs led to allegations of un-American activities. Despite this, he never wavered in his dedication to social justice and human rights. In Chaplin, we see the fusion of art and advocacy, a testament to the power of cinema as a tool for change. His legacy serves as a reminder that our favorite entertainers can also be profound influences in shaping societal values and advocating for a more compassionate world. Number 12. His final years, Chaplin's late recognition and honors. As time carried Charlie Chaplin into the twilight of his life, his later years became a period of recognition and honors, allowing the genius of his work to once again shine brightly in the public eye. Chaplin, who had been living in Switzerland following his controversial exile from the United States in 1952, began receiving accolades that acknowledged the indelible mark he had left on the film industry. Despite the lingering controversies and criticisms of the past, the world couldn't ignore his profound influence on cinema. In 1972, he received an invitation to return to the U.S. for a special honorary Academy Award. This recognition was a long overdue celebration of his pioneering contributions to the motion picture industry. When Chaplin took the stage to accept his award, he received a 12-minute standing ovation, the longest in the history of the Academy Awards, signaling a heartwarming moment of reconciliation between the film icon and the Hollywood establishment. This period also saw Chaplin knighted by Queen Elizabeth II in 1975, honoring him for his services to entertainment. Sir Charles Chaplin, as he was henceforth known, continued to inspire generations of filmmakers, comedians, and audiences despite his withdrawal from the public eye. One of his final public appearances was at the 1976 Cannes Film Festival, where he was given a 3-minute standing ovation, further testament to his enduring legacy. He passed away peacefully in his sleep on Christmas Day in 1977, at the age of 88. Chaplin's final years were a touching coda to a life filled with creativity, laughter, and resilience. His story serves as an inspiring lesson about the power of perseverance, the strength of conviction, and the enduring appeal of a man who could make the world laugh without saying a word. His legacy continues to be celebrated, making him an everlasting presence in the realm of global cinema. Number 13. The legacy of Charlie Chaplin, influence on modern filmmaking. As time carried Charlie Chaplin into the twilight of his life, his later years became a period of recognition and honors, allowing the genius of his work to once again shine brightly in the public eye. Chaplin, who had been living in Switzerland following his controversial exile from the United States in 1952, began receiving accolades that acknowledged the indelible mark he had left on the film industry. Despite the lingering controversies and criticisms of the past, the world couldn't ignore his profound influence on cinema. In 1972, he received an invitation to return to the U.S. for a special honorary Academy Award. This recognition was a long overdue celebration of his pioneering contributions to the motion picture industry. When Chaplin took the stage to accept his award, he received a 12-minute standing ovation, the longest in the history of the Academy Awards, signaling a heartwarming moment of reconciliation between the film icon and the Hollywood establishment. This period also saw Chaplin knighted by Queen Elizabeth II in 1975, honoring him for his services to entertainment. Sir Charles Chaplin, as he was henceforth known, continued to inspire generations of filmmakers, comedians, and audiences despite his withdrawal from the public eye. One of his final public appearances was at the 1976 Cannes Film Festival, where he was given a 3-minute standing ovation, further testament to his enduring legacy. He passed away peacefully in his sleep on Christmas Day in 1977, at the age of 88. Chaplin's final years were a touching coda to a life filled with creativity, laughter, and resilience. His story serves as an inspiring lesson about the power of perseverance, the strength of conviction, and the enduring appeal of a man who could make the world laugh without saying a word. His legacy continues to be celebrated, making him an everlasting presence in the realm of global cinema. Number 14. A pioneering filmmaker, Chaplin's innovations in cinema. Charlie Chaplin's innovations as a filmmaker went far beyond the creation of his iconic character, the tramp. With his profound understanding of the mechanics of humor, the subtleties of human emotion, and the boundless potential of the film medium, Chaplin emerged as a pioneering force in the early development of cinema, pushing the boundaries of what was possible on the silver screen. From his early beginnings in silent film, Chaplin recognized the power of physicality and visual storytelling. Without the luxury of spoken dialogue, he harnessed the full expressiveness of body language, creating stories that were universally understood, transcending language and cultural barriers. It's no exaggeration to say that Chaplin's mastery of physical comedy and visual humor shaped the trajectory of comedic cinema, inspiring countless filmmakers that came after him. Beyond comedy, Chaplin was an innovator in film techniques. He was one of the first directors to use close-ups for emotional effect, understanding that a subtle facial expression could speak volumes. He was also a pioneer in using the camera as an active participant in the storytelling process, using clever angles and movements to enhance the narrative. Furthermore, Chaplin insisted on complete control over his productions, being one of the first filmmakers to write, direct, produce, star in, and compose the music for his own films. This level of involvement was unheard of at the time, but has since become a coveted goal for many filmmakers wishing to fully realize their artistic vision. Chaplin also wasn't afraid to blend comedy with social commentary, bravely tackling pressing issues of his time, such as poverty, inequality, and industrialization, in films like The Kid and Modern Times. By doing so, he proved that cinema could be both entertaining and thought-provoking, paving the way for future generations of filmmakers to explore deeper, more complex themes in their work. In the end, Charlie Chaplin's legacy as a pioneering filmmaker rests not only on the laughs he gave us, but also on the groundbreaking techniques and fearless storytelling he brought to the world of cinema. His influence continues to reverberate through the corridors of film history, reminding us of the magic and power of the moving image. Number 15. Chaplin's unforgettable masterpieces, a journey through his best works. In the world of cinema, Charlie Chaplin is a titan. A comedian, a character creator, a film director, and a music composer, Chaplin was a multifaceted genius whose contributions continue to shape the film industry even today. But beyond all the roles he played in his career, Chaplin's unforgettable masterpieces stand as timeless testaments to his talent and vision. One cannot talk about Chaplin without mentioning his signature character, the Tramp. Debuting this character in the film Kid Auto Races at Venice, Chaplin instantly captured the hearts of audiences around the world. The Tramp, with his slapstick humor, expressive physicality, and empathetic demeanor, is a character as relevant today as he was when Chaplin first introduced him over a century ago. Chaplin's film, The Kid, his first full-length feature, is another stellar example of his genius. The film blends comedy with drama, telling a heartfelt story about the tramp and an abandoned child. With its emotive narrative and unforgettable performances, The Kid showcased Chaplin's skill in eliciting laughter and tears in equal measure. Modern Times, another Chaplin masterpiece, stands as a critique of industrialization and its impact on the working class. Through the antics of the tramp in a factory setting, Chaplin cleverly uses humor to comment on the dehumanization caused by mechanization. The Great Dictator, Chaplin's first talking picture, was a daring satire aimed at Adolf Hitler and fascism, a bold move at a time when the United States was still formally at peace with Nazi Germany. It demonstrated Chaplin's commitment to use his art as a platform for voicing his concerns and advocating for peace. And then there is City Lights, often regarded as one of the greatest films ever made. This romantic comedy, which Chaplin wrote, directed, and scored, is a beautiful example of his ability to convey profound emotion through silence. The final scene, in particular, is widely praised for its emotional depth and is considered one of the most powerful in film history. From silent films to talkies, from comedy to social commentary, Chaplin's works span a vast range, each infused with his unique blend of humor, heart, and humanity. These unforgettable masterpieces not only serve as a window into Chaplin's genius, but also mark significant milestones in the evolution of cinema as a powerful medium of storytelling. Dear viewers, we've reached the end of this enlightening journey through the life of Charlie Chaplin, an unforgettable figure whose influence on cinema is immeasurable. From poverty to stardom, from controversy to acclaim, Chaplin's life story is a testament to his resilience, creativity, and passion. His cinematic innovations continue to inspire filmmakers, and his timeless characters, especially the tramp, continue to enchant audiences worldwide. Chaplin's legacy extends beyond his incredible body of work. His belief in the power of laughter, his commitment to speak truth through his films, and his unyielding humanism have left an indelible mark on the world. Despite the passage of time, Chaplin's influence endures, his films continue to resonate, and his character, the tramp, remains an enduring symbol of hope and humanity. Thank you for joining us on this remarkable journey. Here at Life Theory, we believe in the power of learning from the past to illuminate our present and inspire our future. As we continue to delve into the stories of iconic figures and fascinating topics, we hope you'll stay with us. As Chaplin once said, you'll never find a rainbow if you're looking down. So keep your gaze high, continue to rise, and let's explore this wonderful world together.